Welcome back, viewers at home. It is a Friday after all, and sports enthusiasts, it's time to up your game as we welcome Thaakir Dawood, a seasoned journalist and sports aficionado, to give us the lowdown on the latest and greatest in the world of sports. Whether you're into football, cricket, rugby, or any other heart-pumping game, Thaakir's got your back with all the exciting updates, highlights, and insights you need to stay on top of the field. Thaakir, good evening, and thank you so much for joining us.
Shukran so much for having me. Always a pleasure being back on the show.
Now, just to kickstart our conversation on all things sports, as I promised earlier on, I think I want to get your take on, Bulls versus Lions. United Rugby Championship on Saturday, 22nd Feb 2025, and I believe that is tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. It's the big one of the weekend. It's Joburg versus Pretoria. The battle lines have been drawn. Both teams have been selected, go into media today. It's going to be an interesting battle. We do know that the Lions are having their tails up after beating the Stormers last week, and the Bulls not as much after going down to the Sharks. So it's going to be a tight battle with the Lions vying for top 8 and the Sharks also looking for that playoff spot. So it's all going to be down to those 4 lines tomorrow at Loftus Versfeld.
Now, looking into cricket, South African captain Themba Bavuma won the toss and he opted to bet in the Champions Trophy Group B match against debutants Afghanistan in Karachi on Friday. What does that mean for some of us who are not so well versed in sport?
Well, for some of us, it means that South Africa is off to a good start of the tournament. We've got Ryan Rickleton, who laid the platform solid for South Africa after scoring, after South Africa put up 315 in their 50 overs. Obviously, Bavuma coming through with a half century. Nice to see him hitting form again, hitting his straps. And then Rassie van der Dussen as well. So South Africa is far. However, the tournament does have some difficult matches up for them and in the later stages. So for them to set that foundation early, get a good run rate going for themselves, and hopefully that could be the defining factor between them going through to the knockout stages of the tournament later on.
Now, looking into Liverpool's push for the Premier League title was hampered by the 2-2 draw against Aston Villa. What does that mean for Liverpool and for all the Liverpool fans?
Look, it's a bump in the road for Liverpool. Coming up with their next 2 games, if you look at it, it's not going to get any easier. They've got Man City up next, and then Newcastle United, who's also sitting in 7th spot, looking to get into the top 5, only 2 points behind Bournemouth, sitting in 5th position. So it's not going to be an easy challenge for Liverpool going forward. But these next 2 games will be a deciding factor to whether Arsenal will see hope for them if Liverpool do drop any more points. Because if you look at it, Liverpool dropped 6 points in the next few games. Arsenal's got a game in hand. This just makes the title chase even more interesting. So for Liverpool, get that 3 points, get another 3 points, and they just need to stay winning in order to secure the title.
I'm sure the Liverpool fans are quite excited to say, you know what, there's still a chance, and the chance better be taken or rather be grabbed by both hands. Now, let's close off our conversation on all things F1. I'm seeing Ferrari have run their new 2025 car and the SF25 on the track for the first time in a shakedown in Italy.
Yeah, interesting times in Italy. A nice thing is that the track was right next door to the factory, and that makes it almost so wholesome, knowing that Ferrari, obviously, where their roots are in Italy. So it was a full circle moment for them. And having their latest driver, Lewis Hamilton, in the mix also makes everything a little bit more interesting. For many of us F1 lovers, it's going to be a bit difficult to get used to. Seeing that he swapped teams now, but after he had his first ride in the car, he was saying that it ran smoothly and they didn't have any hiccups, and also it was a dry day, so you could really acclimatize and they could test themselves in the new car. So it's going to be interesting to see their take, obviously, and what the rest of their competitors around them come to the party with.
Now, Thaakir, any closing, insight when it comes to all things sports that we potentially left out and probably you have in mind to say, I need to share this with our viewers?
Look, I think we covered almost everything. Local football is always such a vibe. So it's going to be interesting to see what the league comes down to this idea. Knowing Sundowns always been competitive as they are, but then again, Pirates upsetting them as well last week. So we're going to see how the local PSL shakes up. Also coming into the business end of the tournament. But I think from a sporting front, we've covered the biggest sports in South Africa, and it's going to be interesting to see how the weekend plays out and what our conversations will be like next week.
Definitely. Thaakir, thank you so much. And we're hoping to see you again next week, Friday. Jazakallah so much.
Shukran. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Viewers at home, that was our sports enthusiast Thaakir Dawood sharing in all things regarding sports. I mean, we covered rugby, we covered football, we covered F1, we covered rugby. I mean, if you felt, I mean, cricket, and if you felt like there's something we didn't cover, make sure you do connect with us on social media so we have you fully covered. But on that note, let's head over to an ad break. We'll see you on our return.